Thank you for that. Sorry. Yes, hi Sonneveld. I thought it was funny that Sonneveld would just kind of show up in my chat and say F without any context, and it took me a while to, I guess, like, realize that OBS had just crashed. I just utterly crashed. And I don't know why. I don't know why it crashed. I swear I did nothing to provoke it. Do I get a core dump? Oh my god, I've got so many core dumps. Oh yeah, Sig abort. That probably means I ran out of memory, doesn't it? Yeah, looks like I might have run out of memory. Okay. No, it's quite okay. I thank you for bringing that up. I do occasionally like look back at like the Twitch control panel, but sometimes it takes a little while to kind of I don't know, usually the first indicator that something is wrong is when it just goes down to like 0 viewers, which, yeah, I don't know, but no, but yeah, like before I was like, huh, like, was that just like a reference to spending like close to 4 hours trying to figure out like why VSync and DOS was broken and then kind of coming up with not very much. But oh my word, it's just. Also, you're sick. You should be in bed. You should be asleep. You should not be watching this. There we go. Okay, that's enough. That's enough drawing. Going back to fun stuff. Okay. We've used up about half of our space budget. And that was just to dispense the drinks. Though we still have a few additional things left. Or a few additional kind of... what's it called? We've got more space on these sequences. We've got a few extra outputs there. But yeah, okay, let's go back to like trying to fix the fryer. So we've got the fryer there. It's got to wait for exactly 4 time units. We can set that up with a... Does it need to cook more than one thing in this instance? Yes. It needs to cook a burger, and it needs to cook either a big chip or a what's it called? A big chip or an onion ring. Those are the 2 choose. Oh, Sonneville asks, wait, VSync, which VGA mode are you using? I can show you. Let me just kind of cook out of that. Yeah, so we're using mode 13H, but with with various registers changed so that it's in unchained mode. So, like, basically, here's the... So, like, here's the init code. And, like, the issue is that we're kind of waiting on VSync. Which, essentially... we're basically just saying, wait until the VBlank signal comes up, and then flip the page, and then wait again until VBlank is finished. But the issue is that when we actually run it on real hardware, over here, then the trouble is that the real hardware, it takes forever. So like, if I'm not holding a key down, this whole process takes 166 milliseconds, so at 6 frames a second. If I'm holding down a key on the keyboard, it takes like 6 milliseconds. And unfortunately, I can only test it inside Windows because there is some issue which causes the program to hang if I run it in pure DOS mode. And we've gone through like the process of like changing, because like all sys yield is like this called a DPMI yield. We've tried removing this. We've tried replacing the V-blank with just telling the timer to wait for 5 milliseconds and it's fine. Or, it renders okay. But actually, like, waiting for the, was it VGA is V-blank? Waiting for this guy. Waiting for bit 3 of the input status register just doesn't seem to work very reliably on this laptop with a Cirrus Logic VGA chip. So, I don't know, maybe... And yeah, like I had a look through the Rise of the Triad source code, and that doesn't seem to use the V-blank wait at all. It just flips the screen whenever it pleases. So, I think that maybe I just won't do this. I'll just flip the screen on a timer, which it's not great, but it's fun. It's it's justifiable. But yeah, if you have any ideas / insights / even just like an example program which uses VSync. Like, I swear I had one at one stage, but I've lost it. But just, yeah. There's also an issue where it can see the OPL3 chip, but it doesn't seem to be playing back any music. But that's, I don't know. I haven't really got any music to play back yet, so it's less of a going concern. Okay. So I'm just gonna... One, two, three, four. Actually, maybe we shouldn't use a counter. Maybe we should just use the sequencer. Sonville says, my only thought was checking your assumptions about the refresh rate, but I guess if it's Mode X, you'd have 60 Hertz. Yeah, so DOSBox claims that the Mode X refresh rate is close to like 70 something Hertz. It's a good point, like, because there's no guarantee that like the LCD display monitor would refresh at 70 Hertz. I don't think there's any assumptions in the code though about what the refresh rate's going to be. It literally just like all it's doing is it's just trying to render once per V-blank, and then for any other timer related stuff it polls the timer. So if that makes sense, like there isn't any kind of like hard-coded assumption that we have to run it at like 60 or 70 or whatever. It's however, in theory, it's however fast it can be drawn to the screen. How did I set up the fryer on the thing? It's probably easier if we just have a sequencer. We just have a sequencer that's responsible for dispensing meat and running the fryer. So we'll say meat. Actually, no. No, we're going to wire these two up to here. So the very first thing that comes out. So then we save ourselves a state change. So this one up here. Okay, we could probably get away with just using this one up here. So we have this wire to the meat, and this one wire to eject. Okay. Okay, so we would need another stacker. Actually, no, we wouldn't need another stacker because we could get away with... No, we wouldn't be able to do that. So I mean, I could put another table like this in. However, I would then need to like wire it up. That's not ideal. Because like right now we've got dispenser cup, put a lid on it. It would be good if we could recycle this chip dispenser. And we can absolutely do that. Okay. What am I saying? Okay. Move this over here. No, what am I saying? Okay, no, even easier. There. There's no probe beneath the dispenser. Okay. But now my fryer clock is off. There we go. Products cannot enter from this oh, right, okay. Cool. All right. So we've stacked the drink and we've stacked the chip. And then the only thing we need to worry about is the burger. Ooh, Sonneveld asks, are you checking if you're in the middle of a retrace as well? Usually there's 2 wait loops. I think the timing is tight enough that you might not be able to afford a yield, dunno. Yeah, it's a good question. So there are two loops. So we're basically waiting right up until the vertical blanking interval starts. Then we flip the page. Then we wait until the vertical blanking interval is finished. I think we had, and yeah, like I had it around the other way to begin with. I've changed it around. It doesn't seem to have made much of a difference. But yeah, But essentially, if also by just kind of disabling this code, and replace, yeah. The 2 things I've tried is I've just tried removing the yield instruction so that nothing happens and it just literally busy waits. That didn't seem to affect it. And also removing these 2 and putting in just a busy wait, or you know, like, sorry, putting in like a wait with a yield that's just waiting for the timer, or you know, the system timer to elapse 50 milliseconds. That does work. That does just kind of, you know, it updates the screen at the interval that you expect it to. Okay, someone says, you would typically have to just to wait for the V-trace. I was looking at, okay, right. Okay, that's... Okay, so I did have it around the right way. Okay. I mean, I can... Like, technically with this makes sense because... Yeah, like... The timing of it is... Like, my understanding is that usually when you don't have like double buffering switched on, you want to wait until you're inside the V-blank interval before you do anything related to drawing. And you have to try and like get all your drawing done in the V-blank. But when it's kind of flip, or you know, when it's flipping a page, it doesn't necessarily have to be inside the V-blank. I think. I don't know. My mind's gone. Regardless, like... Oh, here we go. Assuming VJ input status 1 is the correct value, you're correct, but that example is waiting for a whole retrace. Yeah. I mean, the other thing though is that like, if it was waiting for a whole retrace, that should be on the order of like, you know, 1000 divided by 70, like 14 milliseconds worst case. The figures that we were getting out of the laptop was 166 milliseconds, unless you held a key down, in which case it was like 3. So I don't, yeah. I don't know if it's like maybe like Windows. Was that with the yield? Yes, it was with the... It was with the yield and without the yield. Like, removing the yield made no difference. Unless I don't know. Unless I made a mistake and it didn't kind of get lumped in. But I know what you're saying, yeah. Like, it would absolutely make sense if it was the yield and, like, maybe... I guess, like... Because initially I thought that the yield was about... what's it called? Relieving control until the next interrupt, but I don't think it's that. I think that for Windows, or you know, for the DPMI yield, it's not quite that. It's... I don't know. What if you did do while... Flip pages, then yield for timers. Okay, so... I mean, we can quickly do that.
Sometimes I think you want to fail.
Shut up, just shut up!
Okay, let's quickly do this. Okay, so VGA is V-blank. That is essentially doing, you know, returning if in port B, VGA input status 1, which 3DA, which we've double checked, that should be the CGA status register. I think I've got this up here. Yeah, 3DA, CGA status register, or color EGA, VGA input status run register. bit field number 3. And yeah, it's the same as the... So, yeah, it's the same as the one that's in the Commander Keen source code, so I'm pretty sure that's correct. So if we go VGA is V blank. Okay. So we'll just copy this out, get rid of this, and go do while VGA is V blank. Okay, so no yield involved at all. Then we do this. Then we flip the pages, which is this code here. And then do a single yield. Okay, does that look... Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, so build that. Hang on. Alright, so... The screen has a very poor viewing angle. We are just making do as best we can. Okay. So copy that to the disk. Yes. Already contains whatever, don't care. Okay, then we run the engine. Wow, okay. That's pretty good. That's a lot better. That's a lot better than the other one. Oh, and it crashed. But hold on, we'll try that one more time. I think that other crash is due to a page fault. Oh, okay, that was also a page fault. That's okay. But like, it's not animating anywhere near as slow. And what are the frame times? Wow, okay. You're a genius. Yeah, okay. That seems to have been the magic solution. Thank you very much, Sonneveld. Yeah, that's... Might have mostly been the yields. Okay. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I am... Like... Yeah. I guess, yeah, that test that I did where I turned off yielding must have... I don't know. Maybe... maybe I didn't copy it to the stick properly. Okay, Sonneveld says, I think it mostly was the yield, so while you were yielding, you missed a retrace and entered another one, but that order is more correct. Okay. No. That makes perfect sense. Okay. I am... So now that's out of the way, all I gotta do is figure out what's going on with these page faults, which I'm guessing are down to me not locking a piece of memory. Because it just seems to be happening in like random bits of the code. And... Sonneveld says, you use the two loops to ensure you have the longest retrace time available to you. Yeah. So yeah, so we're basically waiting for the end of the... Because like in my mind, like having the two up here, it doesn't quite make sense to me. Because like in my mind, what would go on with this is that you basically like, okay, wait till the start of the vertical blanking. Sorry, wait until the start of the vertical blanking interval, and then wait. No, fuck. What am I saying? Do what? Okay. Do nothing while... So basically, do nothing while the vertical blanking interval is happening, and then do nothing while the frame... Or, you know, while the vertical blank... What's it called? It's for when your rendering takes too long and you're already into the next frame. Normally the first loop would just exit. Yeah. Okay. No, I'm a mess with these things if I don't have like a timing diagram in front of me. But yeah, like, from looking at that, it looked like I would be worried that, oh, if we... I don't know, this line here especially, like, it just implies to me that you basically have to wait for the entire period while the thing is being drawn to the screen. Though, but technically it's the other way around, isn't it? Like, this is what... Like, this is specifically waiting until... we hit the vertical blanking interval. And this is just the catch-all for before that, isn't it? I don't know. Yeah, okay. Well, I can't argue with the results. That's the main thing. And yeah, that's... it is a little... I mean, it is a little disheartening to see that the... I mean, actually, hang on. Like, the timing... The timing for inside the engine is like 14 milliseconds. So, 1000 divided by 14. 71, okay, so... Oh, no, but that's the, what am I saying? That's the... So, like, yeah, irrespective of, like, fixing the vertical blanking interval stuff, I think I might need to, like, do some more optimizations because... like, the DOSBox speed, which, to be fair, has, like, infinite compute behind it, relatively speaking. Oh my god, really? Didn't run it properly, hang on. So yeah, the calculation time on DOSBox takes about 7 milliseconds. The calculation time inside the Pentium is about 14 milliseconds, which, I mean, it's still close. It's still close to 70-ish frames a second. Like, it's not the end of the world. It does, I think it just means that, yeah, we basically skip a frame each time, which would then reduce the effective frame rate to 30 something. But anyway, that's down to my kind of not as efficient as it could be. Like, I don't know, we still use like Painter's algorithm for drawing stuff because I don't know. At the time, it seemed like memory was like fast enough for that to be fairly cheap, but maybe on the computer that's, I don't know, that's a problem. Anyway, regardless, going back to wait, did that just... Okay. Make the drink. Makes the big chip. Makes the hamburger... Oh, okay, didn't quite cook the hamburger. So that's gotta go down here. Yeah, that's right, Sonneveld. So flip time is just the waiting for the vertical retrace, which on the other machine, yeah, like on the other machine takes like because on the other machine that only takes like 2 milliseconds, but maybe on this machine. Maybe we're just scooting in under like time budget. I don't know. I don't know. My brain is cooked. Because yeah, like on here it's like 7 and 7, and on the laptop it was like 14 and 2. But yeah, flip time is just the time spent waiting for the flip to happen. Please cook burger this time. Burger comes out. And nothing, okay. It's like 1 time unit too late to get swatted off the dingus. Actually, sorry, you're right, Son of Elf. Yeah, it would always add up to 14, and if we were skipping a frame, then it would be, I guess, double that? But it doesn't look like we are, so maybe... Yeah, maybe my eyes are kind of... Ugh. Maybe my eyes are giving up on me and it just looks a little slow. I don't know, it's very subjective. I don't have a proper FPS counter set up. I just have the inventory bar, which is tied to... it doesn't use the timer for movement, it uses just per... what's it called? You know, every render cycle, it just moves 1 pixel. So I just kind of use that to eyeball any performance dramas. Okay, we need to save 1 time unit in order to be able to swat it off this friggin' thing. We might be able to do it. So I mean, like, the issue is that we fill the cup, then the lid comes on, then that comes on. Do we physically have any more time? No, because the chip has to get pushed out of the way. I don't know why I'm being so stingy. Just let's make another sequencer. If we make another sequencer and we tie it off output C, which is not used. And then output C goes to start. And we'll say A gets sorted to the right. Okay. Nudge by 1. God. Let's just play it at normal speed. Oh, and I've got to set the damn timer. Okay. Okay, gotta fix the horrible colors on this. Oh, Sonnevel says, I was just looking at Quake source code and they only wait for VSync and flip buffers. They don't have any extra safety loop at the start, and it makes sense because if you're doing a flip, it won't take much time anyway. Yeah, okay. God, yeah, Quake. I should have checked the Quake source code. I looked through the... Of all things, I looked through the Rise of the Triad source code because I thought if it's good enough for Tom Hall... but of course, you know, the Rise of the Triad source code probably not as clean. Oh, okay. There it is, okay. So, waits for VSync, then it swaps the buffers. Yeah. And wait sync, it just literally waits for that. Okay, easy enough to... Okay, so equal 0 would essentially be this. Yeah, so if it's 0, then it would be... If it's 0, then this would be false, which then means we... Okay, so getting rid of the first loop. See if we can get a page fault again. Like I imagine this will still be good. Yep. Okay. Yeah. It also just occurred to me that like this LCD screen is quite old and has, I mean, you can see that there's kind of like quite a lot of like ghosting when you move around. So that could probably also be adding to like the visual zoetrope effect that maybe it's a bit yeah, maybe that's what I'm looking at and seeing, oh, maybe there's like issues with rendering. Okay, can I... I need to add another placeholder. about if I do this? Will that generate a lot of... Huh. Maybe that, I mean... Maybe that fixed the page fault too? So yeah, it was page faulting like fairly reliably before, but seems to be okay now. Okay, so doing it that way without the second loop, because now it's doing 17 and 17, which implies that it's taking just a little bit too long to do 70 frames a second. I don't know. I don't know if the... Hang on. One more time. Because it could also be that like the presence of the GUI on the screen might be, if it's just like skating along, barely like being able to finish drawing the screen, adding the GUI would probably be more load. So yeah, okay. So if I quit without using the GUI, the frame times are low enough that it can escape. But I think with the GUI, it adds 3 milliseconds to the draw on the screen, which is just a little bit too much, and then it like descends into 30 frame a second territory. Okay. Huh, that's fun. Yeah, someone else says, looks like you're stuck at 60 Hz, 30 Hz. Yeah, I think if it did fix it, I think it was only a band-aid over some other timing issue. Probably true. Very likely true. I mean, like yeah. Undoubtedly it's going to be something... it could also be related to the sound code. Because I did turn the sound code off to investigate this, and the sound code does touch a lot of memory, which I've tried to lock all the memory that the sound code touches, but that could easily been missed out. So I don't know. There's been too many changes, I think, to properly nail it down. But I mean, that's looking pretty good. That's rendering. That's rendering as good as can be expected for a unoptimized, unoptimized graphics, for what it's worth. Like maybe now that we actually have some figures, it would make sense to only... I don't know. I probably could go in there and like split out the time taken inside the scripting engine to calculate things versus the time actually spent to draw everything to the buffer. Because like if we look at the VGA code, Because yeah, the blitting doesn't happen directly to video memory. It happens to an intermediate buffer, I think. Yeah, so we've got like a single, so we've got like a single screen frame buffer in VGA memory. Yeah. But yeah, it would be good to get figures for like how long this bit takes, which is all of the individual draws, versus how long this bit takes, which is copying the video, or you know, copying the memory frame buffer to VGA memory. Yeah, alright. So that's good. Okay. Let's see what kind of timing that we get for all stages. Okay. Okay. So what have we got? We've got... Very interesting. So the amount of time that it takes to like run the Lua scripts, barely anything, like 1 or 2 milliseconds. That's, I guess, to be expected. The rendering operation, which draws to the frame buffer, takes about between 9 and 10 milliseconds. And then copy, which is like the flat copy from RAM to VGA memory, is just constantly 4 milliseconds. So, and I assume that if we were to start this up and this time like open up the GUI, which adds more complexity. Ooh, did not like that. Actually, while we're here, let's check to see if it is any different in pure DOS. I don't think it will be, but might as well check. So I'm pretty sure the reason why it's broken in pure DOS is to do with like paging, or not paging, but like maybe virtual memory, because it seems to just kind of conk out like halfway through. Yeah, just hangs there with the disk activity light in the stuck on position. Hey, Dr. Buck Doctor. Yeah, it's this yeah, this laptop is kind of getting on in years a bit. It's not too bad, like, once it's been, like, switched on for a while. When you initially turn it on, it's, like, very, ghosted and, like, artifacty and... But after it has, like, after it's warmed up, it's alright. But... yeah, okay. Dr. Bugdo asked, can you telnet into the laptop debug? That would be no. I had to, there is a serial port on the back. I've not tried using it yet, but technically, I mean, yeah. I had to turn I had to turn the feature off temporarily because I don't know, it's currently hard coded to port COM4. And I'm guessing there's another piece of hardware which uses COM4 because it was just being constantly spammed with stuff, which, yeah, didn't do the engine any favors. I just want to quickly check what the log file is. Hopefully I had a chance to write it to the disk before we finished. Yeah, it gets as far as this. Well, like, it loads a bunch of... It loads, like, all of the images. Is that the last image? Hang on. I'll just quickly check my log over here. Close. So that's... oh no, it is the last image. And then it gets onto, like, creating a bunch of text using the text rendering blitter thing. I don't know, yeah. There's like a few more images after that, because I mean, like, this is just all the images from the, from like the control panel, from like the common module, but after that it then switches. Oh, okay, I think I know what it is. I think I might know what it is. So the rough point at which it kind of gets cut off there is the point at which it loads in a new Lua file. And I've seen a couple of times when we were kind of running it here in Windows 98 that you can get a page fault rise up if you at that particular piece of code. I'm not sure why, but could be related to that. Could be related to that. But if we open this up and we open up the control panel, open up the worst control panel that we have. Oh, there we go. Managed to get a page fault. Oh no, not a page fault, just... no, it is a page fault. Look. Page fault. Page fault. Okay. So if we were to... So here's the disassembly for that. And if we pick the top address, which is 56F0, I think. Where's that then? That's... Oh. Oh, that's a blit error. Oh, okay. Fine. Maybe there's a, you know, maybe my blitter code isn't quite as hermetically sealed and bug-free as it should be. Because the I wonder what I did. I wonder what I did which kind of brought it out of... Okay. Is it the mouse cursor? I mean, the mouse cursor can like move to all four corners of the screen. What happened there? What happened there? Oh no. I guess, yeah, like the trick... Like, I want to say that, like... You know what, I don't know. The memory... I'm a little kind of confused as to why it would happen so... at, like, such weird intervals. I don't know, with DOSBox I'm kind of used to it crashing in a predictable-ish sort of way, but this is just weird. So hang on, if I just move my mouse around the screen, picking stuff up, opening up the menu. Okay, that timing. So that was when I just kind of dragged... I was dragging the slider off the screen. And this time... Oh, that time's invalid opcode. Invalid opcode? No worries, Sonadol. Thank you very much for the assist with visual, with the VSync stuff. Please, for the love of God, go to sleep. Nothing is worth this. Nothing is worth sleep deprivation. I can only say this so many times. What do we got? 883C8. The fact that it is dying here, just in a completely, yeah, okay, so it's hit the it's hit the guard instruction. So essentially, I may be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure UD2 basically means like, if you get here, then I think UD2 is basically just a crash. Yeah, undefined instruction. So, really mark object cold. Okay, and this is in the garbage collector. Right. So it somehow got to here. Okay, what do the suffixes part and cold mean as a result of whatever? Cold is a function attribute. You use function attributes to specify certain function properties. Sometimes GCC evaluates that some part of the control of a big function could be inlined, but that it would not be okay to inline the huge function. Therefore it splits the... Okay. Like, I get it. I get that it would be a dead end. I'm just not sure why. Like... Oh, is it because like the default is lure assert 0? Oh, of course, because it's a macro. It's a bloody macro. Which would be assert. Right, I get it. Okay. This macro can help programmers find bugs in their programs or handle exceptional cases of a error crash that will produce, whatever. But I assume that assert with 0 is a macro that will just return a UD2, which is what we're seeing in the... Okay, that understands. That I understand. So we're falling through to here somehow. What was OTT then? If we didn't break, what was OTT? A1DF. So good. Right, okay, so this is it giving up, but then okay, propagate mark. Traverse one grey object, turning it to black. Alright, so EVX is a pointer. DF. Call 29A80. Maybe this is it. Maybe it's EDX. Because EDX here in the stack trace is the number 31. Alright, Okay. 31. 49. Okay, I guess it's a dead end. Oh wait, no, I just gotta do simple math. Make variant TV T ored with V nudged up by 4, okay. Oh my god. Serious? 9. Alright, so 9. Okay, bits 0 to 3, actual tag, bits 4 to 5, variant bits, bits 6, whether value is collectible. Bits 31. Bin 31, there we go. So if we say this is the actual tag, and then the variant bits are these two. Okay. Boolean. Boolean is apparently the type with number 1. Oh my god. I don't know. The trick was to open up the options screen, grab one of these, and then move wildly back and forth. Okay, that time it worked. Okay. Ugh. I think we've reached a natural conclusion here. I don't think. So, yeah. Thanks to the work of Sonneveld, we've got Video Blitz mostly working. Obviously, drawing stuff to memory, a little slow, could be better, but everything is basically working as it should. It'll try and draw it in 70 frames per second if it can, otherwise it'll fall back to 30 something. The main... So, unsolved mysteries include why it is that, why it doesn't run just in pure DOS, like what thing is kind of getting it hooked up. Potentially file system related. And yeah, then just why does it randomly crash sometimes? Why are there kind of weird page faults? I might have to do a little bit more research to see if there's like a better way of like doing inline debugging in Windows 98 with DJGPP. That might be the way out of this, to kind of like... But I don't have my hopes held up. I don't have very high hopes, to be honest, because it seems kind of pretty flaky as it is. I'm not sure if adding in an entire like in-circuit debugger is gonna do wonders for stability. I imagine it'll do the opposite and make things a lot more rough. But as you can probably tell by just kind of like the real strain it's taking to just talk coherently, I think that we should probably wrap it up for the night. Okay. Come on, Raid Tool. Don't fail me now, Raid Tool. Actually, what am I saying? It's almost December. I should check the damn website. I should check the damn website with December in it. Okay, no one else is playing DOS games. How about just retro? Nothing's really catching my eye. I think we're just gonna let the stream die. Just gonna let it collapse in on itself. Along with what's what's left of my language skills and stamina. And we'll end it there. Thank you very much for everyone who decided to tag along. Next week is obviously going to be December. I haven't quite decided how we're going to break it down. Maybe we're going to do like some game streams, some work streams. They will be separate, I promise, because otherwise I'll lose my mind. But until then, have a wonderful rest of your evening. I will see you next time. Bye!